Shares in AirAsia X or AAX fell 5% today after the carrier proposed to pay just 0.5% of debt owed to each of its creditors and to terminate all existing contracts so that it can restructure 33.65 billion ringgit of liabilities. At the close, AAX was down to 9.5 sen, valuing it at 394.07 million ringgit. In a bourse filing today, AAX said it had set November 12 for creditor meetings to vote on the restructuring proposal. In its explanatory statement and notice of the court-convened meetings to scheme creditors seen by theedgemarkets.com, the financially troubled carrier is expected to hold separate meetings on the same day for the three classes of creditors. They comprise creditors that have security over AAX's assets, including airports operator Malaysia Airports Holdings and financial institutions, creditors that have unsecured claims against AAX, including engine suppliers and aircraft lessors, and aircraft manufacturer Airbus Group. The proposed debt restructuring requires the approval of at least 75% of the total debt value that votes in each class of creditors. Failure to get creditors' approval for its business restructuring will likely see the carrier becoming insolvent and result in material losses to its stakeholders. An arrest warrant has been issued against Transmile Group founder and ex-CEO Gan Boon Aun, who has absconded overseas. Kuala Lumpur High Court Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan issued the warrant during case management today. He also dismissed Gan's appeal against a verdict by the Sessions Court last year, which found him guilty of furnishing misleading financial statements to Bursa Malaysia in 2007. At the previous case management, prosecutors from the Securities Commission Malaysia had informed Zaini that Gan was abroad based on immigration records. Sources close to the case told theedgemarkets.com that the court had not seized Gan's passport after the conviction, which enabled him to leave the country. Gan had initially appointed Datuk Tan Hock Chuan, who was his lawyer in the Sessions Court and most parts of his appeal, to challenge his conviction at the federal court. The lawyer had, however, discharged himself from the case. Gan was supposed to inform the court of his new lawyer in pursuit of his appeal before he absconded. At today's case management, Zaini was informed by the prosecutors that Gan was still at large and had not appointed any lawyer to take up his appeal. Gan was found guilty by the Sessions Court on August 27, 2020. He was sentenced to a 2.5 million ringgit fine and 1 day in jail. Gan then appealed against the decision, while the prosecution appealed against the sentence imposed on him. Petronas and Mercedes have come out to deny a report saying that the two F1 partners will part ways in 2022, with Saudi Aramco replacing the Malaysian energy company as the Mercedes-AMG F1 team's title sponsor. Petronas, in a statement to The Edge, said the two parties have been partners since 2010 in a collaborative long-term relationship that is mutually beneficial to both parties. It pointed out that this partnership was extended in 2021 for another multi-year cycle and said it is proud to continue to be working together to deliver cutting-edge performance. Separately, GP fans quoted a Mercedes spokesperson as providing a similar statement. The two parties, however, did not elaborate on the details of the multi-year partnership extension. Decals Spotters reported on Sunday that Petronas was planning to conclude its title sponsorship agreement with the Mercedes-AMG F1 team at the end of the 2021 F1 season. Since 2010, Petronas has been the title and technical partner of the Mercedes-AMG F1 team, and together, the two have achieved a historic 7 consecutive double World Championship titles, with 3-year contract renewals twice for 2015 to 2017 and 2018 to 2020. Malaysia reported 5,434 new COVID-19 cases today, the lowest daily figure since the 5,218 infections on June 28th. This is the 16th straight day that new cases stayed below the 10,000 mark. down 11.57% from 6,145 on Sunday. Of the latest infections, only 151 or 2.8% were serious, involving those in categories 3, 4 and 5. The remaining 5,283 cases or 97.2% involved people who showed mild or no symptoms. According to a tweet by Health DG Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, cumulative coronavirus infections now stand at 2.396 million. Separately, Senior Defence Minister Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Hussein reportedly said the government will focus on one general COVID-19 standard operating procedure and 9 guidelines as Malaysia makes its transition into the endemic phase. According to Bernama, the general SOP is related to fixed measures to control the spread of COVID-19, such as the wearing of face masks, ventilation guides, My Sejahtera app check-ins and being fully vaccinated. Meanwhile, the 9 guidelines comprise activities in various sectors. Bursa Malaysia finished higher on continued buying interest in selected heavyweights, led by CIMB Group Holdings, Harta Lega Holdings and Public Bank. CIMB bagged 15 cent to close at 5 ringgit 30. Harta Lega jumped 18 cent to 6 ringgit 20 and Public Bank rose 3 cent to 4 ringgit 23. Gains in these counters lifted the FBM KLCI by 4.853 points. At 5 p.m, the index was 7.69 points or 0.48% firmer at 1,605.97. Market breadth was positive with gainers leading losers 573 to 495, while 450 counters were unchanged, 771 untraded and 17 others suspended. Turnover fell to 4.61 billion units worth 2.91 billion ringgit, from 4.96 billion units worth 3 billion ringgit last Friday. Rakuten Trade Vice President of Equity Research, Tong Pak Ling, said that overall, the market would be good in the short to medium term due to positive investor sentiment. He said he is upbeat on the oil and gas sector, given the high oil prices as well as gaming stocks. He told Bernama that although there may be some profit-taking, buy momentum is still strong. Tong expects the FBM KLCI to hover between 1,600 and 1,615 for the week. At the time of writing, global benchmark Brent crude stood at $85 and 33 cents per barrel, up 0.55%.